Back, everybody. This is Kevin along with Kenny. Today we are going to talk about the Yankees. Can't believe what
What's
kind of
up, everybody?
season this is, man. This is a crazy season. This is like
Yeah, we started off hot, and now
it's like COVID hit the Yankees and they're all messed up. Can't believe what
yeah,
happened.
it's not looking too good.
Yeah.
There you go.
As of
We
right
got the
now,
New York
the guy here I gotta represent. Guess who it is, Kenny? Guess who it is?
probably
Crazy.
Judge. It's got to be Judge.
I thought about getting Judge, but I wasn't sure if he's going to sign his contract, so I had to get somebody else. I got Garrett Cole for now, even though he's everybody.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, had to go
He's
Garrett.
been
Hey, listen, 9 year contract, so I'm pretty good, safe there. No one's gonna take him if he's not playing good, so I'm pretty safe with this jersey for 10 years. Uh, let's get started. Today we're gonna talk about the trade deadline, which it seems like the trade deadline shifted the team a lot. It was kind of pretty crazy. What do you think about the trade deadline? Well, what was your opinion? It was a crazy trade deadline, though, I'll tell you that.
um I agree. I think Cashman started off pretty hot with the trade deadline. Making certain moves, going after who do you go after? Benintendi. I thought that was a smart move. Uh, for what we gave up to, I was okay with it. And then it kind of started going a little downhill.
Yeah,
Um, when I saw that he gave up that prospect, Ken, what's his name? Ken.
all the Chuck.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was really big on him. And then the last one that I think everybody was really shocked was giving up Monty, you know. Uh don't know what he was thinking on that. I'm hoping that pays off at the end, but right now it's not looking good.
no, no. So there was exactly five trades. Okay, the first one was like you said, Benintendi. It was for three players, um, two pitching prospects, and a player down the line. I think I'm not sure it was a second baseman or outfield. I think it was second baseman. It was T.J. Sakima and Beck Way that moved the needle for the Royals. And what do you think about that trade? I'll let you start.
I liked it. I like Benatendi, even though he's kind of starting slow with us right now, but I think he's a solid player, left-handed hitter, so something that we need. Um, Solid outfielder as well, and kind of glad to get rid of Gallo. I know he wasn't part of that trade, but you know, definitely when you solidified getting Benintendi, you knew that Gallo was out of here. So he's more of I would say a contact hitter, you know,
Yeah,
definitely a guy that's going to get on base, and that's more of what we need. Gallo was not providing that at all.
I agree. I don't think we gave up almost anything. If I had to put money on it, I don't think either any of those three players are going to make it. There's a chance maybe one becomes a reliever. I know that they might have lost. They were going to might lose him in the off season because he was going to be a free agent, but attendee. So might as well get something for him since you're not doing anything. But I'm not sure if those two players. The thing with prospects that people don't understand is you can only have them in your farm system so many years before they're put into that pool that everyone gets to pick from, right? And they have to put them in the 40-man roster. I think both players were soon going to be there. Didn't really scare me too much to put those players in the 40-man roster because they're nobodies, so no one really would have picked them up. So we gave up almost nothing, and you're right, he has not been doing well. He's actually batting, I think, 200 for the Yankees right now. We gave up Gallo, we got better 30 points. It is what it is. Believe it or not, Gallo's hitting 230 right now for the Dodgers. I can't believe that. He's hitting better than Benintendi, but triple the amount of bats.
Yeah,
But you're right. He is. I think I like to say that he's actually better than average or solid defender. To me, he doesn't look like it, but he's actually by the numbers, he's supposed to be a really good defender. I mean, this defense, this outfield is elite defensively.
yeah,
Defensively, it's elite. I like that contact too. I like to think of him as the left-handed at bat of DJ. And we're going away from the home run hitters too, more contact, which is finally Cashman is changing his philosophy. We're gonna be talking
Right.
about Cashman a lot, I believe, because he's the one, he's the engine, he's the mastermind of all these. Sometimes he outbids himself. He outthinks himself. He thinks he's too smart for, oh, I'm gonna do a move and it's gonna be a great move. And this was a great move. Started well, and then he went. Even though he's hitting 200, I think he's gonna come around. I wouldn't mind re-signing the guy. Maybe we sign him for a steal. Who knows? 44 years, 15 million per year, something like that. I feel like that's my number every time I say. But, yeah, should move.
I think he's going to be a solid contributor to like when we get into the playoffs. You know,
Level
um, kind of like a dark horse type player that that we really needed.
X factor.
Um, exactly.
He with the Red Sox, so he has playoff experience. Very valuable.
Correct.
Very valuable.
And
Should,
then, so I guess we can go on to the next one. Second trade was for right-handed pitcher Scott Efros from the
mhm.
Cubs and I think we gave up Hayden Wesneski. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that.
Hard.
Um, and I thought that was a pretty, I it didn't really move the needle for me. I understand why Cashman did it. Um, with injuries like Chad Green and Michael King, it gives us a little bit of a depth in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you would just have to wait and see what the guy's going to provide, right? It's really still early from the trade deadline to see how well that trade's going to be pan out.
Correct, correct. Yeah, you said it's not a major trade. It's not something that he's going to be judged on too much. What's his name, Cashman? But I again, you're right. I can see why he did it. He is a reliable arm. He's had a good year the last 2 years, and we still have him for control for 4 more years. And Hayden Wozniacki, even though he did decent numbers in the minors, I don't think he was ever going to get an opportunity to be a starter ever. He was buried behind a whole bunch of players. So it's pretty much, I guess they're gonna try him out. If Cubs catch fire, lightning in a bottle, they get lucky. Now, Scott Efros also has not been doing well. I feel like nobody's been doing well. We all know that. All right, let's just settle that from the beginning. Nobody's doing well, but he's not doing terrible. It's like a mid threes ERA, so he's giving us reliable arms. And again, you're right. It's not a major trade, and we can see why he did it. He lost some players, so it's much needed depth, in 2 years of experience.
Yeah.
Let's
And,
move.
and, I think this was expected from the Yankees. I mean, I guess, every loss that we encounter really hurts, especially when we started off like really, really hot. The number one team, pitching, hitting, home runs, everything, right? So, having these like I think we've lost like 11 out of 12 games before the walk-off grand slam recently from I think it was Josh Donaldson. Um, you know, it really hurts, losing that many games. Um, I think I think it was expected. I think they'll come around as the team as a whole, pitching and hitting. So I'm not too worried.
I just noticed your background. Shout out to
Oh, you just
Rolando. Yeah, I just noticed. Shout out to Rolando for the advice.
yeah,
He's
I
gonna be
put the
back.
New York.
He told me, like, did you tell Kenny yet? 3 times. I'm like, I'll tell him. I'll tell him. Relax. Again, let's
He just wanted to be mentioned.
yeah, he did. He wanted to get a shout out. You know, ladies, he is single, so hit him up. Anyway, let's go move on to trade number 3. This is the big trade. This is where we're gonna talk a lot. Uh, the Frankie Montas trade. Break it down for us, Kenny. What the trade is.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's right-handed pitcher Frankie Montas and Lou Trevino
Mhm.
for left-handed pitcher Ken Waldachuk, Luis Medina, and JP Spears, and second baseman Cooper Bowman,
Yes.
which hurts because I really, really, really like Ken Waldachuk.
We really, really like.
Yeah.
We really
So
did.
that hurt me when I saw that. I was like, oh, I think he's has great potential, and I think he's going to be a solid, solid starter in the future. But that's all right. I'm not sold on Frankie Montas. but I'm
Jose's
hoping that he picks it around. Yeah,
boy.
kind of sad because I feel like for Ken Waldichuk and Luis Medina is no scrub either. Um, really wish we went after Luis Castillo at the
Yeah.
time.
If you're gonna
You
give up
know,
those players, I mean, I would have added one of the shortstops at Peraza to package him with those players and get Castillo, in my opinion, to get a real
my
impact.
guess is that they were asking for someone like probably like Volpe or something. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, we have to.
and
It wouldn't
it
come
doesn't
off.
seem like Cashman was willing to give that up.
And like these guy gave up like three out of his top 5 or 7 prospects. Seattle, one be a top
Right.
20. Volpe's the top 5 or 8, but they gave up 3 top 100s or 2 top 100s. They gave up a lot. We gave up one in like the 70s range. Tell me what you think about this trade. Tell me a little bit more because I can go on forever talking about this trade.
Um,
Frankie Montas, let's start. Not good things to say about him, unfortunately, but
yeah, unfortunately, he's not doing too well. Um, but I'm hoping that over time, as the season progresses, he's going to come around. Um, I think you and I spoke about this, right? We don't like Oakland A's pitchers. You know, they do really well for them, but anytime we acquire them, they just, they do really bad for us.
yeah.
And past experience like Sonny Gray didn't pan out. Um,
I would say Oakland and Seattle, two pitchers park places like James Paxton and Michael Pineda. It's just, I don't want to say it's an illusion, but the ballparks make a difference. They keep the balls inside. For example, let me give you a total so people can understand. Yankee Stadium is one of the best hitting parks, right? So some of these numbers are elevated or inflated because of such a great lineup and such great ballpark to hit in. So is he really, like, for example, player A, is he really a 280 hitter at Yankee Stadium? And then he goes to Seattle, he might end up being a 200 hitter. It's just the way the ballpark works. So pitchers we don't fall for that, you and I. We
right,
maybe need to sit down with Cashman, like, listen, you need to avoid these couple places, But that's the difference with Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo pitched in a hitter's park. Cincinnati's one of the hitters' parks. So his numbers were 2 ERA in a hitter's park. He's gonna end up having a great year in Seattle, man. That was a great move by them. He beat us twice already since.
I agree. And I just, I, I don't think Montas is going to do well. And I think, if we get to the playoffs, that's a guy that we're not going to be able to rely on at all. Um, and that's where, losing someone like Jordan Montgomery really, really, really hurts because I thought he was a solid starter, you know,
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that as well.
yeah. Frankie Montas averaging. Usually, I like to say people that they average 1 run per game. Frankie Montas averaging 1 run per inning. So if you're the opposite team, you're gonna get a run every inning right now. I do think he's gonna turn it around. Nobody can be this bad. They say that he's like a bulldog. He doesn't give up, and he's mentally strong. Maybe it's a lot of impact. You're going from a stadium that's 10,000 fans to a stadium that's 40, 50,000 fans. It can impact. Maybe I'm exaggerating those numbers, but it's that 5 times the amount of people. So maybe that's what's doing it. It's a big name. It's a jersey that when you wear it, it's a big expectations, man. It's big expectations. You don't go in Oakland, there is no expectations. If you do anything, good job. In Yankee Stadium, I think we could talk forever about Frankie Montas, but let's avoid talking negative too much. Lou Trevino, he had a great history. This is I would like to say a pretty much like a sneaky pickup. If they hit gold with it, congratulations. They don't. It was whatever. It was just a throw in that Yankees are trying to find more depth for cheap. The guy has great one pitch that's supposed to be great. I forgot what it was. Might be a splitter or slider, but and our pitchers. What's our pitching coach name again? From the Indians.
Yeah, no.
Shout
Shout
out.
out to Mike.
Yes, thank you, Mike.
Mike.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Beaver's next. Anyway,
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We're coming up. We're
man,
coming for Bieber next.
our pitching coach, man, he is unbelievable. He might end up being a coach one day. At this point, we'll replace somebody. Who I'm talking about.
Yeah, time to get Boone out of there.
He just signed a contract, man. That's scary. Let me look this up. Pitching coach. Where we at?
He signed what? I think it was like 2 years ago. No, they extended a 3-year contract on Boone, or
Boom.
they just
This
yeah.
season, bro.
This obviously. Oh man, where have I been?
Yeah. Matt Blake, by the way. It's Matt Blake. Guru.
Yes,
Pitching guru, right? So to me, it was good move getting Lou Trevino because okay, if this guy can turn it around, we might be able to get a sneaky 7, 8 inning guy. He hasn't pitched well. He hasn't pitched bad, but he hasn't pitched well.
yeah,
But I would like to talk about those prospects we gave up. And we'll start with Ken Wilchuk, has your name. You could have gotten his jersey.
I know.
You know. I see 2-3 in him, and he killed in the minor league system every level he went. When I look at minor league players' numbers and pitching, I look at innings pitch, walks, strikeouts, ERA, of course. I want to see strikeouts to walks. He had great numbers. It was like 2-1, 3-1. It was unbelievable. And I was like, it hurt me when I first saw that. I was like, oh, not that guy. And then I saw JP Sears too, and I like JP Sears. Short guy. I don't like short
Yeah,
pitchers. I'm a short guy myself. I don't like short pitchers because I feel like they're not going to last too long, and they're not at an angle when they pitch. But there's two lefties, J.P. Sears and Ken Waldichuk, and J.P. Sears. He had a 1 ERA pitching about 15 innings for us. So I thought this guy was going to be a valuable piece for us in the future for the bullpen, like Ron Marinaccio. I like that kid too. And I thought J.P. Sears was like the equivalent to him, but the lefty. But I guess you have to give up to get. And we'll see how this trade goes. I mean, you can't just judge it on this year, even if Frankie Montes does suck the whole year. Maybe he needs to get acclimated to Yankee Stadium, and maybe next year he'll be good. Luis Medina was a guy that a lot of years we got him from the Twins, I believe, right? With Luis Gill or something like that. I'm not sure, but he has
I
great
believe
stuff,
so.
but can't keep it together. Walks very erratic with his pitches, loses control. I think he's a bullpen at best. He'll never be a starter in my eyes. Too erratic. But if you have such great stuff and you're a bullpen guy and you can put it together for 1 inning, might end up being a steal of a bullpen guy. Might end up. And who the hell Cooper Bowman was before this trade? Never heard of his ass.
And I mean, that's the thing I want to talk about, right? Like we always say, like, maybe they'll be ready next year, they'll be ready. But, with the expectation of the Yankees, you got to be ready now,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, the New York market is not a forgiving one. If you mess up, the playoffs or whatever, they ain't gonna like you, you
No.
know. So, and giving up that many prospects and solid prospects for somebody like Frankie Montas, he better shape up and
Yeah.
he better do well.
Yeah. New York is fans are tough critics, and I like to think that you're one of the toughest ones, Kenny. Believe it or not, in my eyes.
Right.
You
I'm
expect no
cheap.
hitters in every fucking game. But
Nah,
yeah.
no hitters, but no runs. That's it.
One run, take them out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, let's see. This is going to take us a lot of years to evaluate this. If I was, I'll tell you what, I think I agree. I think you're going to agree with me. If this was the trade offered to me that night, if I was Cashman, I would have passed. I probably would have passed. I said no. I'm not giving you all that. If I'm gonna give up to me, Waldichuk was for a guy like Soto, a guy like Castillo, stuff like that, because you need those young aces. I'm not saying he's gonna be an ace. He might not be an ace. And Yankees analytics are so good that maybe they're right. Maybe they see something that we don't see. But his numbers, his peripherals are amazing. So you need to grow these young kids. That's what Cashman loves to do. So it was a surprise to me to give up a young pitcher because young pitchers are very valuable. So it was very, very surprised. And Montes is already 28, has 2 years left only. So that was very surprising that move.
Yeah.
Desperation.
And like I said, if Montes came from a different organization, maybe I'd have a little bit more faith. But we have a history with the Oakland A's pitchers not panning out. So
Right.
you know, here we
Yep.
go again.
I know. Let's go. It's better not being on the sunny gray, I swear.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the fourth trade. Your boy, Jose's boy, Mr. Gallo.
So this is pretty much, we didn't really get anything in return for this. Um, it was really more getting rid of Joey Gallo, and I think Clayton, he was pitching like a 5.75 ERA or something like that. Yeah, it just, the guy's probably going nowhere. But it was more so to get rid of Gallo and you know, kind of saying, all right, we'll clean our hands. That was a bad pickup from us. Didn't pan out. Let's move on.
Yeah, but we did give up some players, unfortunately. One of the players was Ezekiel Duran for Texas. Um, obviously he went to Texas because we got Gallo from Texas. He ended up being a top 100 prospects right after that. And we gave up a shortstop or a third baseman, Josh Smith, lefty, short guy. Maybe neither one become anything that we gave up for Gallo, but then we flipped them for even less, it seems like. Um, I'm trying to see because nobody really knows about this kid Klingon. So I'm trying to bring him up. But he has a lot of he's like Luis Medina, he reminds me of. A lot of talent, but he can't put it together. But something I did like is that we have a lot of years left with him in the minor league system before he's only been there for 2 years. So I think it's like you have 4 or 5 years before you have to protect the guy, or else someone could snatch him up from you. He had a good rookie year though, 2021, and sing a high A, 3.13, double A, 4.2. This year he's done really bad.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this: 2 games with us, he's his ERA is 0. I guess I'll tell you, Matt Blake, I said, yeah,
Yep.
he's a genius. You know, he might convert this guy into something. You never know. We got something for Luke. Same thing. I compare this trade to like the Luke Voigt trade. You know, we gave up a player that wasn't part of the team, wasn't gonna make it, wasn't gonna. People wanted him out. Both players, but we got a potential player that maybe one day, if you get lucky, might end up being something. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a home run player, You can just be a solid bullpen player, like a Chad Green, you know. That's my boy. Um, you know, just a solid contributor, a guy who can give you like 4 innings, 3, 4 innings, no runs, things like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Um, but I'm just more so happy getting rid of Gallo. I think everybody is.
Yeah.
It was either he wouldn't hit the ball or he hit a home run, and his batting average was like 0.142. Yeah, it was just guy like that doesn't even belong in the majors, in my opinion.
uh, he's doing a lot better with Dodgers, but they're also limiting his play appearances. Maybe they're doing the lefty righty only best to righty. He's batting about 230 with the Dodgers, which we would have kept that if he would have batted with that with us. But he was a solid, really good right fielder. But they tried him at left field for like a year, and it didn't really wasn't great. He was like average. So they eventually moved him to right field, especially when Stan went out and his defense was good. But I'm glad that trade. We all needed. We all wanted it. You would listen to radio every morning. I listen to the radio every morning, and everybody wanted his head on a platter. They're like, "Yo,
Yep.
get this guy off my team. He is killing the ninth hole." But let's go to the last trade. I'll let you let
So
our
the last trade was really heartbreaking. I think every Yankee fan pretty much dropped their jaw when they saw this. I mean, when I saw Jordan Montgomery's name up, I said we must have gotten an ace level pitcher or something better than him. And then I saw it was for Harrison Bader. Um, I'm a very big fan of Jordan Montgomery. He was just a solid player, a workhorse. Kind of reminded me of like Andy Pettit, but not as good. Just a solid contributor, you
not,
know.
not nearly as good, bro.
Well, I'm
Not,
biased. I love Jordan
I know.
Montgomery,
Okay.
all right? But
Montgomery was a 3-4, you know.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm sad to see him go, and I think he's very upset that he had to go. Uh, but I wish him luck. But this outfielder, I don't really know much about this outfielder. Cashman is big on him apparently, and what kind of scares me is that if you're getting another outfielder, is there a chance that you might not re-sign Judge?
So this move was for Judge, not to let him go. This move was to move Judge off of center field. They didn't want to keep Judge in center field anymore. Wear and tear happens. And by the if you watch the games, it seemed like supposedly Judge was a fantastic center fielder, right? This is what I read or heard somewhere. But by the metrics, he wasn't a fantastic center fielder. He was a slightly above average. Bader is supposedly an elite center fielder
Correct.
defensively. Can't hit in St. Louis. So it kind of scares me how you're going to hit in New York. Because if you're batting 250 St. Louis, you're going to bat maybe 200 New York. And I don't want a player like that in my line. But he's elite defensively. He's elite defensively, supposedly. We might not even see him this year. That's also another thing that really pisses me off. Like you got a guy, we're trying to win it all, and you got a guy that might not even play this year. I know they're trying to be optimistic. Oh, he might be rejected come September, but I don't like that. I don't want to hope.
Right. Yeah, and I saw that he's hurt apparently, so he might come September to play. I'm just like, what are we doing? You know? um, I mean, if he can bat at least 240 like he was batting in St. Louis, I take it. With an elite defense supposedly.
I'll take it.
It just hurts to lose Jordan Montgomery for somebody like that. I would have thrown Jordan Montgomery in that deal with for Luis Castillo. Maybe that would have sweetened the pot, but
I mean, it would have been a three-way trade because they wouldn't have been interested in Jordan Montgomery, but yeah.
just
Something that really didn't to me, Cashman dropped the ball this deadline because you have possibly the best record. You had the best record in the league at the deadline. You had a team that looked like it was something special. All you need to do was to put the icing on the top. He started well Benintendi. Great move. You solidify the outfield pretty much. Maybe you want to get a center fielder, who knows? You solidify the lineup offensively, put in a lefty. Okay, good job. Get some bullpen arms. Okay, Scotty Frost. Okay, well, you didn't give up much. All right. But then you start from there, everything starts going down. And you didn't get we didn't need another 3-4. We had a 3-4. Frankie Montas is like a 3-4. We had a bunch of those. That's all we have.
yeah,
To get another one, what do we need depth for? We need quality, not quantity. We have quantity. As a matter of fact, one thing I didn't like about these trades is we gave up a lot of quantity. A lot of these guys, for example, the two pitchers that we gave up in the Benintendi trade, the pitcher that we gave up in Scott Efra's trade, and the three pitchers that we gave up in the Frankie Montas trade. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 pitchers. All those pitchers were eligible for the 40-man roster next year. So he had to do a roster crunch before he started losing some. Because if you look in Major League Baseball nationally, Major League Baseball, our players are scattered around everywhere. You have Garrett Woodlock in the Red Sox. They took him from us from the 40-man roster pool. You have the Indians have Trevor Stefan. He's doing good with them. They took him from us. If I start looking around, people start taking from us little by little. And he said, no more. No one's going to take it. I'm going to flip these guys, turn them into something, open up a spot in the 40-man roster here and there. The problem was it wasn't enough. It wasn't. You needed an Otani, Soto, Castillo move to solidify us as the best team on paper. And not only that, I think it would have made our intensity bigger. Right now they look dead. They look effortless in the field. They look like they expect to lose. Maybe the Montgomery trade zapped out the energy. Maybe every time Frankie Montas pitches, it zaps out the energy off the team. And I think the opposite would have happened if you would have gone a Luis Castillo, Juan Soto from the Washington Nationals. So to me, it was mixed feelings, man. But not more towards the bad than good.
yeah. And speaking about the Yankees, we're getting whooped right now, 4-0.
Oh, it's in the eighth or ninth.
Uh,
I saw.
ninth. So pretty much game is over.
I do agree
But
with say when he said we should have given up Tillian over Montgomery. Maybe the Cardinals like we don't want Tillian. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like I want to give you my garbage instead of the good player. People want the good players. You can't just give up what you want. In a trade you have to give up to get. Sometimes you end up winning, sometimes you end up losing. We won the Benintendi trade. and then we lost the next four.
And
So,
listen, as long as the Dodgers, the Mets, or the Astros don't win it, I'll be happy.
yeah, me too. And the Red Sox, always the Red Sox.
Well, they're pretty much done.
Yeah, they are pretty much done.
They're last place. So
So before we wrap this up, because we got 5 minutes left, tell me what you think about the Yankees. What's gonna happen? How do you think they're gonna finish? Is there any possibility they don't win the division?
no, I don't think they're gonna drop the ball that way. Um, I think we'll definitely be first place in the division. Mm, I don't know if we'll beat the Astros for the conference. Um, but we'll definitely be first place in our division. Um, I see us getting 90, 95 wins, maybe. Um, I think we'll be okay. Um, Playoffs is a different story, though. For some reason, we just don't do well, and we just need our pitchers to step up. And then talking to you, Garrett Cole, um, we need that guy to step up.
Three
He's
hundred
been
million.
letting us down. So, and you saw that Stephen A. called him out. So,
Yeah, much deserved. Much deserved.
yes,
Even though he didn't even know about baseball.
you
He doesn't even
know
know
it's
baseball.
bad when a guy who doesn't watch baseball calls you out.
He's just a New York fan like myself. He loves everything New York and except for the Nets. He hates the Nets. But yeah, I don't. I would say before yesterday or maybe 2, 3 days ago, I would have said no matter what, we're going to win the division. I'm going to hold my mouth on that. If we are,
Really,
we're most likely going to lose tonight. We're down to 8. We have 2 more games with Toronto. If we lose those 2 games, we'll be down to 6. And 6 with a month and a half left, it's anybody's game at that point to me. You know,
I
and
agree.
the momentum swung immensely. I hope I'm really, really wrong. It's a bold statement I'm saying because we were up by almost 20 games in the division. Almost. I don't know if we were ever, but we're down to 8. And after tonight, we'll be down to 8. And again, the momentum has swung.
Yep,
Toronto looks good. Toronto looks good. If
they do.
Tampa gets healthy, it's not going to be easy. And forget about playoffs. We'll have a different conversation about that because that could take us forever. We'll do a podcast one of these nights on a Friday night, doing the playoff teams, what we think who'll be 1, 2, and 3 pitchers, and who'll be in the lineup, who won't be, what situation will happen, stuff like that. But for now, we're gonna call it a wrap. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It is Friday night. Don't stay home. Please go out, but stay safe. I have to work tomorrow, so I will not go out.
Me
But
too.
guys, enjoy the rest of the Yankee game, guys. Have a good night, and thank you for joining us, man.
Have a good one, guys.